What's up, everybody? It's Indigon, and I am back with another quarter hunt, finally. And this one is not a full box. I went to actually 5 different banks and got asked for $100 at each bank. These 3 obviously bank wrapped. These, I don't know if they're customer wrapped or bank wrapped turn-ins or what have you. But each, like I said, each row came from a different bank, so probably do these 2 last. I'll start here and work my way back, and I will go ahead and get into these, and I'll bring you in on the first find or after each 10 rolls to let you know what was in each find. So let me go ahead and get to it, and I'll bring you back in. Just got done with roll number 3, and I have a find, but it is unfortunate. Look at that. That is the ugliest W you will probably ever see. It is beat up. It's got multiple rim bumps, huge scratches on the obverse there. The reverse isn't much better, if any. It is a W. It does count, but that's that one hurts a little bit. Not gonna lie. I would have almost rather not found anything than find a W like that. So, oh well, bring you in on the next one. All right, so rolls number 1 through 10 had 3 finds. You already saw the world's ugliest West Point. Again, that one's just kind of sad. But also had a Washington crossing the Delaware with a little bit of minor cuff doubling there. I will try to throw the variety up here if I can find it. And we had a, this one is a Reverend Dr. Paulie Murray with a pretty nice DDO in the hair there. And let's see, I'm not seeing anything on the motto, but again, I will throw the variety up if it has one. But 3 finds, quite a few to check against my albums, but 3 finds through first 10 rolls. 40 more to go, 4 different banks. Bring in on the next one. Roll number 8 of bank number 2 is going to give us the first foreign of the hunt, a 1983 clad Balboa. Didn't notice it by the edge because it's the same composition as the U.S. quarter, but it is a clad Balboa. So first foreign and 2 rolls left, and then I got all these to scope. And this bank has had some really nice state quarters to check against my state quarter album. Nice little grease strike through that one, but yeah, there's quite a few of them here. Like, I think 3 or 4 in that stack, 1 there and a couple there. Then got a nice bicentennial and an America the Beautiful, but don't know what's in these 2, so let me bring you back in and we will do a wrap up for bank number 2. The second bank didn't give up any varieties, but we got a few ATB potential book upgraders. Got a pretty nice bicentennial. I'm sorry about the dryer. You saw the Balboa. And then we got all these really nice BU state quarters. So New Hampshire, Virginia, Vermont, Arkansas, Kansas, North Dakota, Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, and Alaska. I have not looked at the mint marks, but I'm still going to hold these to the side, and I will bring you back in once we get into the next bank or at the end of the next bank. All right, bank number 3 gave us quite a few varieties here. So this first one is going to be a Reverend Dr. Paulie Murray with a little bit of doubled hair. And then we got a Patsy Takamoto mink with a really nice doubled hair there. And I have a beautiful New York Saratoga with a little bit of doubling in the saber right there. Have a Harper's Ferry with some doubling right here in these 2 windows. Then we had another one of these Zitkala saws with the extra diamond right there. I've been finding about one per box of these. They haven't been attributed yet, but I do need to send that one in to Dr. Wiles. We had a Jovita Idar with doubled hair. And then I believe this is another, yep, Patsy Takemoto mink with kind of a minor doubled hair there on that one. And last but not least, another Patsy Takemoto mink. So 3 of these were the minks. Another doubled hair there. All of these varieties were in the second half of that bank's rolls. First 5 rolls just had some possible upgraders. Second half filled with varieties. Had at least one in every one of those 5 rolls. So really good. Best bank so far. And we got 2 more banks to go with 20 more rolls. Bring in on the next one. Bank number 4 gave us a few more coins to check against my albums and 6 more varieties. So this first one is a Washington crossing the Delaware with a very minor doubled cuff there. Also had a Patsy Takemoto mink with a little bit of doubled hair. Had a Zitkala saw with a little bit of feeder finger scrapes. And you see it's actually on the eye on this one as well. Don't think I've ever seen them on the eye before. I've seen them down here under the ear and in the in between the ponytail and Washington's neck. But this hasn't progressed into a full-on strike through, but it did start to wear away right in front of that eye there. So that was kind of interesting. Had another Patsy Takemoto mink with, again, another minor doubled hair. Had a Harper's Ferry with a really nice DDR right there. It actually goes up into this 3rd window here. And we had a Homestead in really, really nice shape as well, with an extremely minor DDR right there in that 2nd window. Probably wouldn't have held on to it had it not been in this nice a shape. It's very, very nice quarter. So 6 varieties in that 10 rolls and a few to check against the albums. Got 1 more bank left, and I'll bring you in on that for an end of the hunt wrap up. Sorry, make that 7 finds because I forgot I had this one slipped down of the way a little bit. Got a grease strike through America there, and took out the E in we and the T in trust. And this is on a Salt River Bay. So you see right there, the S is extremely weak, the T is gone, the E is gone, and then America is mostly obliterated here. The A is pretty much untouched, but then everything else is just about gone. And then the R is a little weak in dollar. And then the left side of the coin is pretty much as you would expect. Not perfect coin, but it is a pretty cool little error. And I will add that one to this bank's hunt, or finds. So bank 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we got bank 5 yet to go. So bring in after the end of those 10 rolls, or if we have a find before then. All right, and we are done with the last 10 rolls. So we got quite a few potential book upgraders. There were a lot of, bad example there. There were a lot of these Patsy Takemoto minks in these last 10 rolls. I think every roll had some of them, but we did end up with a few nice varieties. Let me go ahead and throw this on the stand here real quick. So it had a Harper's Ferry with the doubled pane that actually breaks down through this middle piece here. We had, again, several of these Patsy Takemoto minks. There's some repeats. I'll just kind of throw the important ones up there, so that one's kind of small. This one, again, a little bit longer, goes all the way up to this point here. And same one as the last one. But again, there were, I think, in total 7 of those. So had another one that was the same one as the last 2. Unfortunately, that one's got a hit right on the hair, but you know, still a double die, still hold on to it. And I think, yeah, so I believe, let me see it. That one is the same length. I don't know if it's the same thickness though. Yeah, I guess it is. So out of those 7, 6 of them were that second longer DDO, and then you had the one short one. So that gives us all of these finds right here to go through, and I will go ahead and get these sorted out and bring you back in for an end of the hunt wrap up. All right, so that is everything for the hunt. And that's a pretty filled board, if I'm being honest. So start with the last 10 rolls. Again, you saw the 7 DDOs on the Patsy Takemoto minks. Had all but that one were the same design, and then we had the Harper's Ferry DDR. Had a, I believe this is a Reverend Dr. Nope, it's a Zitkala Saw with a DDO on that one. Had a couple more Patsy Takemoto minks, another Harper's Ferry, the Homestead DDR, very minor, but again in excellent shape, which is the reason I'm keeping that one. It does have a little bit of staining, but overall really nice coin. Had a minor cuff doubling on the crossing the Delaware. Roll number, or the 4th bank also gave us the error where we had the struck through grease on that right side there. And then it also gave me my first and only Celia Cruz that I've found in circulation, and it is in excellent shape. I did get the 3 mint set rolls from the mint, and I do have some of those, but that's the first one I've actually gotten in circulation, and I only got one out of an entire box, so they clearly did not dump them in my area. Do have a minor DDO on this Jovita Idar. Right there. Had a Reverend Dr. Paulie Murray DDO. Had 3 more of the Patsy Takemoto minks. Another Harper's Ferry. The Saratoga, again in excellent shape, with a little bit of minor doubling in the saber handle. And the Zitkala Saw with the extra diamond. You can kind of see it right there. See that flash over that second diamond there? That is actually the doubling, which I believe is doubling. It might not be, but second bank only gave us 1 find, but it was a Balboa, and this is probably my favorite foreign find. Haven't found many clad ones, but got an 83 Balboa. And then the first bank gave us the Reverend Dr. Paulie Murray DDO, the world's ugliest West Point, and a minor cuff doubled crossing the Delaware. Excuse me. This one again is the worst West Point I have ever found, and it's pretty bad. But it is a West Point, does count, and there we go. I have to say the find of the hunt for me is probably going to be this double diamond. I love finding those. I think they're really, really cool varieties. But got a lot to choose from here. The Balboa is also cool. And the Celia Cruz, that one's actually going to upgrade my collection because I don't put them in there if I don't find them out of circulation. So there we go. If you enjoyed this, please hit that thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, please consider subscribing. And thanks for watching. Okay, so I had a pretty good number of really nice stake quarters in this hunt, and we're going to start off, and I ended up with a total of 5 editions for the album. Most of these are just a high AU. This one's not great. It's got some rub on the cheek, but it's got really nice luster. It does have some spotting though. But this one is a 1999 Philly, New Jersey. So that one will go right there. Also have a 2001 Kentucky, and it's got some interesting strike through going on up here. I think that's strike through and not dye deterioration, but it's got something going on right here on the reverse, and when you flip it over, it's got a little bit something down here by the mint mark. But this one, again, nice AU. It's not mint state, but it will be a nice upgrader for the Kentucky there, or a hole filler for the Kentucky. Next up is the Arkansas 2003, and again, nothing in there currently. So this one is pretty nice. This one's definitely, I think, probably the nicest one of these. It is mint state. It is probably a low mint state from the hits on it, but there's the Arkansas. Also have a 2006 North Dakota. It's got a little bit of a grease strike through there in the field. And we'll flip it over. And again, it does have a scratch on it, but we don't have one anyway, so right here. So it will go in the album for now. It can be upgraded later. And then last but not least is the 2007 Utah out of Philadelphia. And this one has an absolute ton of grease strike on this one. Obverse and reverse. You see that kind of starburst-ish pattern on there all through the field. This one I do think is mint state. I just think it's not the most attractive coin with all that grease strike, but it will go in the album. So we have, like I said, 5 hole fillers for the book, and just that much closer to having completed this entire Dansco out of coin roll hunting. So let me go ahead and get these plugged in, and I'll show you real quick. And if you enjoyed this, please hit the thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching.